Well, thank you, Jackson. Let's start with this. America's immigration system is broken and it needs to be fixed, and it's been broken for a long time. And part of what we need to do is always prioritize what we need to do to strengthen our border.
Harris begins by discussing the immigration system being broken and her career in prosecuting transnational crime. However, she fails to offer specific solutions on how the government plans to integrate migrants safely or how long the subsidies will last. Her answer sounds more like a general statement rather than addressing the core concerns about taxpayer funding and immigration logistics.
Allow that kind of trafficking to happen and come into our country. And as my opponent has proven himself, he would prefer to run on the problem instead of fix the problem. You may know there were some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress working with others that came up with a border security bill.
Harris mentions that Donald Trump blocked a bill that could have improved border security. While she blames Trump, she does not take responsibility for her administration's own failures in addressing the border crisis effectively. Her focus on blaming the previous administration comes off as deflection rather than leadership.
That would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border. Those border agents are overwhelmed. They need the support. They need the backup. It would have allowed us to have more resources to stem the flow of fentanyl. I don't need to tell this state and people around the country what is happening in terms of the scourge of fentanyl and how it is literally killing Americans.
When pressed on the issue of fentanyl and crime at the border, Harris speaks broadly about border agents needing support but doesn't offer clear, actionable plans for what her administration has done to solve the immediate problem. Her responses lack the depth needed for such a serious issue, appearing vague.
In 2024, just in June, 3 weeks before the first presidential debate with Joe Biden, you institute executive actions that had dramatic impact, really shut down people crossing over. Why didn't your administration do that in 2022, 2023?
First of all, you're exactly right, Anderson, and as of today, we have cut the flow of immigration by over half. In fact, the numbers I saw most recently, illegal immigration
but if
is
it was
low.
that easy with that executive action, why not do it in 2022, 2023?
Because we were working with Congress and hoping that actually we could have a long-term fix to the problem instead of a short-term fix.
You couldn't have done one in the...
Anderson Cooper presses her on why executive actions to stem illegal immigration weren't taken earlier. Harris admits they delayed action, hoping for a long-term solution through Congress. This makes her look indecisive, as she admits they could have done more earlier but waited too long for results from Congress.
Both at the same time?
Well, here's the thing. We have to understand that ultimately this problem is going to be fixed through congressional action. Congress has the authority and the purse. I hate to use DC terms, but literally they write the checks. Part of the issue is in order to really fix the problem at the border. I was just at...
Harris is asked if she could have done both, worked with Congress while also implementing executive action earlier. Her response seems to imply that long-term solutions and short-term fixes couldn't happen at the same time. She struggles to justify why her administration didn't act sooner.
The border recently talking with border agents. You know what they talk about? Yes, they are overwhelmed. They're working around the clock, and the other thing that they talk to me about, we need more judges down there to deal with asylum claims. We need more personnel down there to deal with processing. But Anderson, and that's where Congress kicks in terms of dedicating the resources to actually fixing the problem.
She struggles to justify why her administration didn't act sooner, shifts the blame to Congress, emphasizing their role in fixing the border issue, even though the administration has significant power to make executive decisions.
Well, let's talk about this compromise bill that you want to pass if you're elected. You said that's going to be a priority. It includes $650 million in funding for the border wall. That's something Republicans wanted. That was part of the compromise. Under Donald Trump, you criticized the wall more than 50 times. You called it stupid, useless, and a medieval vanity project. Is a border wall stupid?
Harris had previously called the border wall stupid and a vanity project, but when questioned about the $650 million funding for it, she now supports the bill that allocates money for the wall. This reversal makes her appear inconsistent,